finding stuff out that you want to know. Just ask me a question that I don't know. That's why Finding Stuff Out is the name of the show. So just give me a shout and we'll figure it out with the help of some friends, and the fun never ends. On Finding Stuff Out, Finding Stuff Out, Finding Stuff Out. That's what it's all about. Yeah.
I'm in this watery world because of a question from Amelie.
Will water ever be extinct?
I don't know, Amelie, but I've been thinking about water. Mainly because a water line broke in my street, so they turned my water off. But before they did, I managed to fill up all these containers. Hopefully by the time they turn the water back on, I'll be able to answer your question. Now here's a question from Vanessa.
How come we can't talk or breathe underwater?
Why can't we talk or breathe underwater? Well, Vanessa, I found out for you. When we talk, our voice makes sound vibrations. What I'm trying to say is that we don't hear very well underwater because our eardrums need to vibrate, but underwater they don't vibrate as well. And the reason we can't breathe underwater is that while both air and water have oxygen, our lungs can't get oxygen from the water, and fish's gills can't get oxygen from the air. But wouldn't it be cool if you could breathe in both places? Now here's a question from Luisha.
Why do people need to have water?
If you're a fish, then you need it for breathing and living in. But humans use water for lots of things. We need to drink water because most of our body is made up of it. About this much. Hey, whoa, how did he get in there? Anyway, I feel a song coming on.
H2O, 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 H2O.
Well, there's water sloshing round in you and me. It carries nutrients to our whole body. It lubricates our joints and dissolves our food. Carries off our waste so we stay feeling good. We lose it when we poop and sweat and also when we pee. So we need this much water daily.
H2O, 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 H2O.
We use water to have fun too, like swimming and playing a whole bunch of sports. And most of all, we use it to grow food. Vegetables, fruits, and farm animals all need clean, fresh water. We also use water to stay clean. To cook, to make electricity, to paint, to heat our houses, to travel, to drink, even for flying. Water's everywhere, in everything. You're gonna make my head explode. Water's also nice in a cool cloth after your head explodes. But I realize that because it's so precious, we have to use it wisely. So, Luisha, your question inspired me to go and get some...
Street smarts.
What I want to know is, who are the biggest water wasters in your home?
My sister, because she goes into the bathroom to do her makeup, but she has the tap running, and she doesn't need the tap running.
Me, because when I water the garden, I goof off with the hose instead.
Probably me, because sometimes I leave the water on while I'm brushing my teeth.
Me, because when I take a shower, I keep it on the hot and I'm in there for 20 minutes.
Probably me and my brother, because sometimes in the summer we'll use our slip and slide. And then afterwards we'll go inside to dry off and have a snack. We'll just leave it running, and that wastes a lot of water.
Looks like we should all stop wasting water. All we gotta do is turn off the tap. Now here's a helpful question from Matthew.
How does water beat fire?
To find out why water beats fire, I've come here to meet firefighter Mark Messier.
Hi, Harrison. Welcome to Station 36. Harrison, you've got a fire to go to. Let's go. We gotta go.
Let's go. taking me to a real fire?
This is the training center. This is where you train firefighters, so we're gonna train you to put the fire out. Okay, so take the nozzle.
Okay.
Take some hose. Okay, you have one hand on there, one hand on here.
Yeah.
When it's full, you go ahead and open it up a little bit. Okay, now we got water.
Okay.
That's it. And spray the whole thing, go around in circles if you want. What we can do is we can roll around to the other side, make sure we get all the whole side. That's it. We want to cool down the fuel and that will put the fire out. There you go. Now we can stop, see if there's any more smoke.
A little bit on the hay
So it's
there.
still smoldering a little bit, and that's
yeah.
normal.
To answer Matthew's question, how did the water beat the fire?
So basically, when we look at a fire, it's like a triangle. You need fuel, you need heat, and you need oxygen in order to have a fire. By eliminating any one of those three, the fire goes out. So what did we do here?
Well, let's see. We didn't remove the fuel. The wood's still there. We didn't remove the oxygen. The air is still all around us. We took the water, which eliminated the heat,
That's correct.
and that put out the fire.
That's exactly what happened.
Nice.
Good job.
Now we're gonna try to put out another kind of fire, a grease fire.
We can't extinguish all fires with water, because some fires will actually make it quite dangerous if we use water. Watch this.
Oh, that looks really dangerous.
It is. When people have a grease fire in their kitchen, the best thing for them to do is just to get out of the house and call 911 as soon as they can.
Right, well, I'm sure there's some other way to put this fire out.
Yes, there is, by removing the oxygen. So what we're going to use is a carbon dioxide extinguisher.
Okay.
And you're going to put out the fire.
Awesome. Carbon dioxide is the same gas that makes fizzy drinks fizzy.
All right, so you ready?
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay, let's go.
Ready? Because it doesn't burn and is heavier than air, it sticks to the base of the fire and pushes the oxygen away. Whoa, that was difficult to put that one out.
No, but you managed to do it. So when we look at our fire triangle, we have heat, oxygen, and fuel. What did
Right.
you do here?
We sprayed it with the carbon dioxide, which got rid of the oxygen.
That's correct. We displaced the oxygen, so the fire has to go out.
Nice.
Good job. Okay, here we're gonna have a propane fire. Now, we can't put this out with water. However, we'll use water to keep the tanks cool, and we'll use it as a shield so we can get close enough to turn the fuel off.
Oh, that's like the last part of the triangle. You just have to eliminate the fuel.
Exactly, and you're the one who's gonna be turning it off.
Nice. Uh-oh. You have got to be kidding. To put that out, I'm gonna need some special safety equipment.
Okay, now there's some clips back here we're gonna tighten.
Oh, like that.
Now breathe. Okay? I checked you. I want to make sure I see no exposed skin. Something goes wrong, we need to make sure that you're covered. Let's do this.
The gas leaking out of those tanks is on fire. The firemen will hose it off to make it cool enough to touch. My job is to turn off the valve and stop the flow of gas. But first, we have to get closer. That's the valve I have to turn off. I did it! Fire's out. Whew, that was hot. Thanks so much for being on my show.
Hey, no problem. Thanks anytime for coming, but you never asked me the one question. How do we cool down after it's really hot?
How do we cool down after it's hot?
Well, you really want to know?
Yeah. I guess that's a pretty good way to cool down. Here's another question that's all wet.
Why is the water clear, but the ocean blue?
Yeah, what gives? This glass of water doesn't have any color in it. Or does it? To help me find out... She knows about water, and she promised not to dump it on me. Please welcome Roxanne Moranger.
Hi, Harrison. Today we're going to talk about water.
All right, but you're not gonna dump that on me, are you?
No, I'm not a firefighter.
So this is clear water, but I was hoping you could bring blue water to help me find the answer to the question.
Actually, all water is blue. You got to think of the sun sending down all its light like a rainbow into the ocean, but the only color that's actually being reflected from the water is blue, and that's why the ocean is blue.
So I guess you need a lot of water, like a lake or the ocean, to see the blue. Just one glass isn't enough.
Absolutely.
But what about all these colors, like this one?
Oh, that one, that's Lake Rotorua in New Zealand. It's covered in little tiny microscopic plants called algae that are green, and they're reflecting the green color.
Right, so that's why it's green, it reflects the green light. What about this one?
Oh, isn't that one pretty? That one's Lake Hillier. It's in Australia. It's very, very, very salty. It's like 10 times saltier than the ocean. And the little tiny microscopic plants growing in this lake actually reflect the colors more like orange and red.
So it ends up being pink with the salt and stuff combined?
Exactly.
Okay, and what about this one? It's black.
This lake is actually on top of a volcano. The water is coming in from underneath, and what's happening is it's gathering all the minerals from the rock.
Right.
And because it's a volcano, the rock is really black and minerally.
Right, from like ash and stuff.
Exactly, and so that's why it gets this black color.
Right, well, I have one more. It's rainbow.
Oh, Harrison, you're such a joker.
Okay, so what about this water? It's green. Is that because of the algae you mentioned earlier?
Absolutely.
Well, let's take a look at this with my super zoom-o-matic.
Oh, cool. So algae are little tiny microscopic plants. So you have to think of them as being like leaves of a tree, but they're really, really tiny. You can only see them with a microscope or your super zoom-o-matic. And they're the ones that are capturing the sunlight's energy and producing the food that all the animals living in water rely on to eat.
Right, and what about this water? It's all brown.
Yeah, that water is swamp water.
Oh, it smells horrible.
I know. Well, what happens is swamps are characteristic of a lot of things coming into it and dying. And as they die, they get all broken down and the color becomes brown.
Well, I wouldn't want to drink that. And Devin had a question about that.
How can you make river water safe to drink?
Some rivers are actually safe to drink right away, but most rivers you should take some precautionary treatment before drinking them. I have my filtration setup that I use when I want to go and study lakes.
Right.
And what we're going to do is we're going to pour a little bit of this water, which looks relatively clear. It has a little tinge of green.
Kind of green there.
Yeah, I wouldn't drink that directly,
Yeah.
so let's remove some stuff. Okay, so pour it in there. Let's get the filter pump going. And what I have in here is a little fine mesh filter that is capturing all the particles. So let's stop that. And let's take a look.
Whoa, it's all green.
That's the algae being caught up. Now, another way to make water safe is by boiling the water.
Boiling water, how does that help?
Well, you get the water up to such a high temperature that all the microorganisms or bacteria die.
Right,
So,
and then it's safe to drink.
then it's safe to drink. So would you like to kill some bacteria?
Sure.
Let's go for it. So Harrison, the river water is now boiled, and now I'm going to make tea. And tea is actually going to explain why that swamp water we have over there is turning brown. Because
Oh,
tea...
it's brown.
That's right. Tea are just dead leaves.
Just like there's dead leaves in swamp water, dead leaves make tea.
Absolutely. Would you like a cup of tea?
Oh, why, yes. A cup of dead leaves would be wonderful.
My pleasure.
Smashing. This one smells much better. Thanks for being on my show.
My pleasure, Harrison.
Now here's a question from Mia.
How does rain come down from the clouds?
The Flat Earth Corner! Hey, farmers. Are your crops brown because it hasn't rained in months? Are your animals thirsty? Do you not have any water? No problem. Give me all your money, and I'll make it rain with this Rain-O-Matic air cannon. Why, this is no ordinary cannon. What a bargain! Less than 100 years ago, people believed there were rainmakers that could actually make it rain. It didn't work. Serious scientists tried it too, with a process called seeding clouds, but that didn't really work either. If there's no moisture up in the air, then you can't make it rain. Simple as that. Here's the real way rain falls from the clouds. The sun heats water in the ocean's rivers and lakes. The tiny droplets evaporate and rise up in the sky to form clouds. If enough water gathers up there, it gets too crowded for all that water, and it falls back down to Earth, starting the cycle all over again. But rain doesn't fall evenly all across the world, as Evan's question points out.
How come some countries in the world don't have that much water, yet most of the world is filled with water?
Most of our planet is covered by water. That's why it looks blue when you see it from space. So it seems like there should be enough water for every country in the world. But here's the thing. Let's say this is the entire amount of water that's in the world right now. Nearly all of it would be salt water and oceans. We can't live by drinking salt water. Our bodies can't take that much salt, and we can't use salt water to grow crops or raise animals either. So how much is left of fresh water, the stuff we use for farming and drinking? Only about this much. But there's a catch. A lot of that fresh water is locked up in icebergs and glaciers. And what's left for us out of all the water in the world is about this much. I'm starting to see why some countries have less water than others. So because water isn't spread out evenly in the world, and some people have to work really hard to get their water, that gives me an idea for...
My Great Challenge!
Today's challenge might get very messy and very wet. And today's challengers are Michaela.
You're going down.
And Sam.
All right.
All right. In North America, each person uses this much water every day. That's for drinking, washing our clothes or cars, and watering the lawns.
It's crazy.
What if I told you you have to carry that much water on your head?
Whoa.
Watch this. People in some parts of the world spend as much as 4 hours a day carrying water from wells to their homes. Some people get so good, they don't even have to hold on to their bucket. As a matter of fact, that's today's challenge. You'll have this bucket, and you have to dunk it into this well, get as much water as you can, and then put it on your head and walk all the way to those jugs over there without spilling it. You'll have 2 minutes, and the one that fills the jug up the most will be the winner.
Okay.
But there's a catch. You cannot touch the bucket while it's on your head. If you do, you'll have to restart back over here.
What's this for?
This is to help balance the bucket on your head. Are you guys ready? Set, go! Don't touch the bucket.
Oh, yeah.
There's one, there's one. Going for bucket number 2. Oh, come back, come back. Oh, let go of the bucket. Oh, no! Make sure to let go of the bucket right before you start marking. They each have 1 bucket right now in their jugs, but let go of the bucket. Okay. Oh, Michaela's almost there. Yeah. We have about a minute left. Oh, look at that, speed run. Michaela's going for her 3rd bucket, and so is Sam. Oh, they're tied right now. Sam's getting ahead. Oh. This is a close race. 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, time's up. All right, let's see who the winner is. So it looks like Sam has about 2.5 liters of water, and Michaela 3 liters. You're the winner.
Oh, yeah. Told you you're going down.
You really did.
What was the hardest part of the challenge?
Well, it was kind of keeping the water on your head, because like you're trying to run and it's a race, so it's hard to keep it on your head.
It was hard to put the right amount of water, because if it's too heavy, it'll tip over, and if it's too light, it'll tip over too, because there's not enough weight on your head.
So would you like to carry that much water on your head for 4 hours every day?
No.
Not really.
Really makes you think about not wasting water, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, thanks for being on my great challenge and helping me find stuff out.
That was really fun.
Yeah.
People aren't the only living things that have to worry about how much water they use. Here's a question from Angela.
How does a cactus produce water when there is no water in the desert?
I checked, and here's what I found out. These cactuses manage to live in deserts where other plants would die because there's not enough water. Cactuses do it by storing water and using it very carefully. This cactus doesn't have any leaves, so it doesn't lose water through them like other plants do. But the cactus can't make any water. It can only store water. So that brings me back to the question that started me on this watery quest.
Will water ever be extinct?
The big answer is yes and no. There's lots of water around, but not all are in forms that we can use. All of the water that's on Earth has been here since the Earth was formed. There's no new water being made. So even though there's a lot of water, we still have to conserve it and make sure it's clean, because there's only so much of it. Hey, sounds like my water's back on. Guess I won't have to break you open after all. Ow! I wasn't actually gonna break you open. Thanks for watching Finding Stuff Out. Ow! I don't even like cactus water. Ow!
H2O, 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 H2O. Well, there's water sloshing round in you and me. It carries nutrients to our whole body. It lubricates our joints and dissolves our food. Carries off our waste so we stay feeling good. We lose it when we poop and sweat and also when we pee. So we need this much water daily. H2O.